Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Design Cities Skylines. We are back at the city of Cedar Valley, where I've been doing a little bit of work off camera. Actually quite a bit of work off camera. I put in, I don't know, like 2-3 hours doing some terraforming. Let me just show you real quick. You might remember a couple episodes ago, actually several episodes ago, I started tinkering with the mountains in the back, and they were definitely looking nicer than everything else. This map, Pine Hills, which is up on the workshop, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that because when we first started the city over a year ago, yeah, it's been over a year since we've been working on Cedar Valley, and we're not even near finish. Can you believe that? Yeah, I pretty much did the map, all the terraforming during a 3-hour live stream, and it didn't look great. I'm actually kind of embarrassed about it. I might even take it down from the Steam Workshop, to be honest. But that was something that always bugged me about this map, how like plain and basic it looked. And I knew that I could do something much better. So here it is. This is one of a big attempt of me trying to make this look much nicer. I'm definitely loving the direction that this is going. By no means this is finished. I'm still gonna come back and add details pretty much throughout, because I mean right now we don't have any rocks, and we only have like 1 or 2 tree types, but it's already looking much better in my opinion. I think it's definitely, you know, sprucing up this whole area behind the airport, which was super ugly. I was looking at the footage from a couple episodes ago that I was recording, you know, in the airport, and it just, that big hill over here was like a big round hill. It was horrible. It was really horrible. So I sculpted a little bit. I think, like I said, I think we can do a much better job than this. But for now, this will do. This is all the time that I had to get on the terraforming aspect of things. And this episode is going to be a little bit different than the last couple of episodes. We're going to be doing actual work on camera for, you know, because I feel like we've been doing a lot of time lapses. By the way, let me just show you one last thing. I did like a bit of a tiny hill here. The top part is flat. So this, I think, and this is a request that it's been you know, happening for many videos now. A lot of you wanted to do like a viewpoint, and I feel like, I mean, we're probably gonna have more than one, but this one I specifically thought, you know, like it would be a great spot for plane spotting because it's right next to the airport. This feels like a really good tourist destination because you could get amazing photos of the skyline as well as the airport and pretty much the whole harbor here. And I mean, this whole area just looks magnificent. I did add a lot of trees. As you can see, we have trees on pretty much all the 3 islands. And that actually got me thinking that instead of just continuing all suburbs, I want to have like some sort of a big park, because we only have this park right here, but it's more like an avenue with a park on the side. So it's not really a park. I want like a big kind of, you know, central park kind of park, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna have to integrate some of these blocks with that, and then have suburbs pretty much all around. And but yeah, man, this already is looking really good. I mean, as I was sculpting the mountains, it was just like making the whole area look much nicer. And I was that, you know, things like that. Every time I do one of those big changes, it lifts me up. It just gives me more motivation to keep working on Cedar Valley. And also have other good news. I managed to get my frame rate to not be terrible. I mean, it's still somewhat terrible if I zoom in here, but like if I pause the game, it actually becomes much better. I ended up lowering down the settings, specifically. Let me just show you real quick. The level of detail, it was on very high, and I turned it all the way to medium. To be honest, I really don't see a difference between the two. I do see the difference in frame rate for sure, but I do not see the, you know, I know like some like trees despawn when you zoom out, but it's really not a big deal. And it looks so much more fluid. So I'm definitely going to keep this. Also, tone down the shadows to medium. Again, the shadows still look amazing, but that really puts less of a burden on my GPU. Now, this episode, I want to start before we get into building things. We've been getting an influx of new viewers in the channel. So for all those of you who are new, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I just wanted to give you a little quick tour around the city because I haven't done one of those in a while. And I feel like some people might, if you're just landing on the series and you haven't watched all the previous episodes, which you should, there's a link in the description to the full playlist, blah, 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 blah. You know that. But in case you just landed on this video and you don't know what this is about, this is the city of Cedar Valley. We're 29 episodes in, if I'm not mistaken. And there's so many different types of neighborhoods that, I'm obviously not going to show everything on this quick tour because, I do want to do things in this video, but I could very much stay here for an hour just talking and showing you things. I am going to pick some of my favorite areas of the city just to give you an idea of what we've been up to if you're new. And if you're not new, well, this will serve as a reminder of all the amazing things that we have here. This is, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes ago, we built this massive commercial area. As you can see here, we have some big warehouses. Well, not necessarily warehouses, but car dealerships. This is very common in the US in certain cities where you have one big avenue and tons of parking lots pretty much all around with dealerships and obviously just, packed to the brim with cars. We also have a couple of supermarkets. We have a Home Depot here, a Carrefour supermarket too. I don't know what this is, but I actually kind of like it. And obviously this commercial area kind of continues here. We also have suburbs right behind it. But it's all looking really nice. We have a big university campus with the racetrack and a couple of soccer fields. And let's see what else. Let me show you. This is our current beach site. At least our urban beach site. We're probably gonna have more than one, but it is looking really, really nice with all of these I guess gazebos and umbrellas and tents of many different kinds. There's also a really cool back lot here that I made. There's a police station and a bunch of police cars, and we have all these an impound lot with all these cars and vans that were, taken by the law. Let's see, what else? What else do we have here? So here's another one, really nice little corner of the map. We have the train station and a beautiful park right across the street. We also have this pathway. I want to pause the game just to get a better frame rate, that brings pedestrians from the other side of the freeway, which usually freeways is kind of interesting because they just cut right through the middle of the city, and it's you have two islands on each end. So yeah, that's the issue with that, but it's looking good though. Our golf course, absolutely one of my favorites as well. Let me just show you in detail. We have this massive entrance, really I don't know what the right word would be, but very high class kind of entrance. There's a lot of people walking about here, I notice. I did put some of those park people generators pretty much throughout the golf course. So now we definitely have some cars driving by. Not as many, obviously, but just a few here. Let me just show you real quick. Here's one little motorcycle. Over here, another of the entrances to the golf course. In this case, we also have another mansion with a whole bunch of parking lots because, you can never have so many parking lots in your city. One thing to notice, though, is I should probably maybe add a few vanilla cars here because I don't think I actually had the time to do so. But and now that we're here, let's take a look at this construction because this one is also pretty recent, maybe 6 episodes ago. We have this power station or transformation station. I don't know what the term would be. It's also kind of made up, so it's not a real thing. But you usually find some of these conversion stations, if you will, on the outskirts of the city that bring the high tension power lines and convert them for residential use. So this whole area, also one of my favorites. There's so much detail going on here. I'm gonna try not to move my camera so much so you can take it all in, but even the power lines here are kind of interesting. Let me show you this other side because there's more details here too, just pretty much all over the place. It's looking super nice. Now the rail yard. this is indeed one of my favorite parts of the city. There's so much to look at, so much detail. Everything is wet too because it was just raining a second ago. This is the first time I actually turn on the rain, which is kind of interesting. I might keep it on and just see what happens. But this whole area, I love it because there's so much to see, so many details. And this is one of 2 railers that we have in the city. The other one, it's under maintenance. So I'm not going to show it to you because it's all empty pretty much. There's no details there. You might remember that we created that on like episode, I don't know, like 5 or 6. And most of the assets that I used there were pretty heavy in terms of polygons. So I decided to get rid of all those and keep less crazy or intensive, GPU intensive assets, and I'm only using the ones that B. Squigglehausen made, who was the same person who did the planes. Anyways, this whole area I'm super happy about. I just changed the sun location so that it looks a little bit more interesting. I hope this is coming good on video, but yeah, let's move on to the next. This stretch of highway also one of my favorites, and especially this whole area right here by the bus terminal that has this custom park right across the street. I mean, it's just looking really, really good. I wish that I had like more modern buses. This is like an old bus depot that's kind of left abandoned in between the freeway and the actual bus terminal. Unfortunately, if I get close, you see like these are buses, but they're kind of like even like airport buses or something like that, or like theme park buses. They don't look like real buses. Anyways, we have these abandoned here just for like, a extra level of detail. They do look nice. I just wish that I had, the right kind of buses plopped there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's so many more areas that I could be showing you, but this will kind of give you an idea of how Cedar Valley looks like when you get really close. And maybe this would be a good reminder for you to go check out the full playlist in case you want to see how I built all of those different neighborhoods. Now, it is finally time to start building some things, and I'm going to begin by just adding details around the planes. In the previous episode, I added a few cones during the time lapse, and this like, I can't remember the name is, but like the thing that pulls, it's like a tow basically. It just tows plane to their taxiways and whatever the plane stands are. And over here, I picked up a few assets that I think would work. We have the lift truck, we have the stairs, and we have the baggage truck. So I'm going to begin by maybe like putting down, actually, we want people, yeah, I think this corner will be nice. We're just going to put this right next to the door. Let's do the same over here. The camera keeps bouncing around, but it's okay. And this one, same thing, just put it over there. This one's, I think I'm going to keep them like that, but I am, however, going to put down one of these trucks, kind of like backing up and loading whatever the food or something like that. Even on this side, I'm just going to get it on the corner here so that it looks a little bit more interesting. This one will also be served by the same truck. We could also put down, actually this one's, I just want to park a whole bunch of them in a row because these are like for like maintenance. But you know what? I'm just going to create a row of these just here. So we're going to use the prop line tool. And it's been a while since I've recorded me working on things on camera. It's kind of exciting. Something like that. There we go. Not too bad. And let's grab, I guess this one could also go on this side. This one, I think we'll keep it like that. Actually, if it shouldn't have a tow if he has this truck. So I'm guessing this one is about to take off. Let's just get rid of the truck and maybe get rid of the cones. Let's grab stairs for these. Actually, this one could just be like 2 stairs, kind of like there. I know you often see them just like random stairs in like places like near the taxiways, just waiting for the next plane to come in. This one, I'm not sure if this is a plane that I plopped or not. It is. Okay, so this stair is obviously a bit too tall for that, so I'm just gonna put one here and do maybe a few of these little cars. like so. Actually, I can just do baggage or luggage. I don't remember exactly. I think it's luggage, and it's definitely not in my favorites. So let's just find it. Luggage carts, perfect. And this one is luggage car. What is the difference? This one has things, and this one's do not. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna put this in here. Maybe that. I feel like we could use another of the lift trucks, maybe. Oh, that's okay. I also don't want to overdo it, you know, like I always say. On this side, however, since it's more for like repairs, I think I'm going to leave this as it is. So no changes there. The rest looks a little weird though, but I think it's okay. You know what? Give me a second. I'll be back. And let's put the last detail. And this will make a nice addition. So what I did basically is just created this, I'm using this UK Roads hashed box, and I'm putting them at the very end of each of these plane stands. So you can see here, they're at the very end of each one of these three, same over on the other side, same here, same here, and same here. And I mean, I know this is like maybe technically incorrect in terms of lines. This is all that I have to work with. So I don't know. I feel like it makes some sense. Like, keep this area clear. This is where a plane will, you know, stop. And I don't know. It just also adds a bit of a detail and texture to an otherwise big concrete block. So in order to put these, I had to remove some of the planes. So we're going to do that again. Let me find my plane first, because obviously Strictoastair is number one in this project. So let me just position this plane. Actually, you know what? Let's just put it right here with the nose touching this hatch box. Is this enough room? Yeah, cool. Let me do a smaller one over on this side, because this is sort of a focus city for Strictoastair, in case you didn't know. I want my favorite A38. There we go. Not A380, the 787. Let's see, is the wingspan enough for this? Okay, so this one can go. This one, however, if we put it right here, it will have to... Actually, no, doesn't matter. Pretty much the same length. So let's put it over there, get rid of that one. And that is looking good. Let's see, let's find a few others. Let's look for jet. Unfortunately, this one doesn't fit its massive wingspan. Same with this one, the Air France. Wow, that's even worse. Okay, so I'm sure. Let's go maybe regional. If I go regional, it maybe give me something that's not super tiny. So like this ones are a bit too tiny. This one could work, but I want like a more interesting Subminato. We already have a couple. I think we used to have a rhinestone here. Let's just find that one and, you know, advertise this Flux channel for free. I'll actually send him an invoice for that later. Flux, if you're watching this, you already know. Let's see. I want to maybe keep this inside. Yeah, this one's better. So the wingspan works, but I just want the tail to kind of come out a little bit. That's kind of more interesting. And these are part of the... Oh, I think it's called int. And search like that. There we go. Oh, CS Airlines. I like this one. Okay, so let's keep this one also kind of going in, but not quite. So I spent a few minutes adding details here and there, and let me just show you how it all came out, because I'm pretty happy. It's just detailed enough that it makes a little bit of sense. So as you can see, we have all these luggage carts pretty much throughout the whole airport. In fact, I did like a big... you know, like a big lot here that's kind of fenced out. It has some lines, it even has some of that concrete decal to like hide the lines from my concrete texture. But I think this area looks super nice. I've seen this in many airports, especially messy ones. So they just have like a whole bunch of just props laying on the floor. Same thing over in this corner. I should probably like fix this fence, which is the very last thing that we did in the previous episode, if you remember correctly. But I mean, overall, it looks really, really nice. I'm excited. Let me show you how it looks over here, because I did add a few more of these props. I'm sure I'll keep adding more and more of these throughout the episode, because I just, in between cuts, I just, you know, kind of go crazy adding these kinds of things. But pretty much the same thing all around. You can just see all the vents and all the stairs and pretty much everything. So the airport is looking really, really nice. I'm super, super excited. And one thing that I wanted to do is I really love how this turned out. And there's usually a ton of construction going on at airports. So I have this big concrete area here that I wanted to maybe convert it into a construction segment. You know, like they're repaving this taxiway or something. So let me just go ahead and hide the time menu thing. Let's just create an area with this gravel. So we're just gonna increase the brush a little bit. Let's do one more thing. We're gonna throw in a few more of this ruin texture, and actually let's undo a few patches of this and grab the sand texture, which is one of my favorites. And, you know, do that as well. In fact, maybe we want to like subtract a little bit of this gravel texture that is just slightly darker. Something like that kind of works. We want it to look pretty much like this. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is lower the terrain here, just like make it a little bit more bumpy. Well, probably not as much. Actually, maybe you should like adjust this first before doing anything. Let's undo that. I just love that there's undo for only that. I wish there was undo for more things, but I'll take what I can get. So we're gonna do that. Yeah, that looks deep enough. And obviously we're gonna grab the security barrier that we did in the previous episode. Actually, if I spell it right, it would work. Securit. And I think it's this one. Perfect. So we're just gonna, I think we're just gonna go do something like this. Yeah, because I don't want it to be like the same angle as the taxiway. But the one thing that I do want to try is I'm gonna grab Morita. Let's grab the big plane and just make sure that the wingspan won't interfere with our construction area. So we put this here. You see, it kind of overhangs a little bit. I know it's like, yeah, it's not real life, but I'll like to like maybe decrease the size of this construction area a little bit so that the wings don't kind of invade the space for the construction site. So let's try that one more time. Security T. And we're just gonna basically outline the edges of this. All right, so this is how the area looks like with all the fences, or the security barriers, I guess, on the edges. We should probably get rid of at least one of them. I'm guessing this one, so that there's like an entry point and exit point from the construction site. And obviously next, this is the fun part, putting all the little trucks and, you know, all the construction equipment in there. So first of all, I wonder if I should have like a staging area kind of outside. You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna grab the, I think it's part of my favorites. So we're gonna grab, yeah, the Jersey barrier, and we're just gonna extend an area about this big. We can also like squeeze this in a little bit. Actually, yeah, there we go. And just get it more or less there. And maybe try something like this. Maybe follow along the lines of the concrete. That usually helps, you know, for aesthetics. And maybe this is now our staging area. Let's take a look at the decals. Maybe we can want to like somehow, you know, like make it so that it looks like there was clearly trucks driving in and out of this place. so that it doesn't look like all super perfect. I know you can barely tell the difference from this decal, but the thing is, it kind of hides the the lines from the concrete. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And you know what? Let's just I don't want to keep adding this because it might be too much. I do want to add something like this though, like I mean, what do we have here? Let me just take a look. So we only have the barriers, the cones, or the traffic something. I don't know the name. Let's go search for traffic and select all. There shouldn't be that many. Search barrel instead. I think barrel will yield better results. All right, so we have that in there. We can just put a few more in there. Not too bad. Might as well put one on the corner there, and another one here, another one here. Just kind of highlighting, the area surrounding. Actually, you know what? Let's just put it on every one of these when the barriers meet. It's usually not that big of a deal, and safety first, right? You want things to look visible and shiny from far away. Let's just put another one there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's put some of these barrels too now that I have them here. Might as well just put a couple of these in here. There we go. Because it's part of the construction site. I think that works. And now I think we can just start putting down all the construction equipment. So let's throw in some of these. Come on, game, save. There we go. So maybe 2 of those. We're going to grab one of these tall ones. I love how they look. Something like that. Ooh, bauxite. It's a little bit too dark, but I do want to keep like a pile of, what is this? Iron. Do we have a bigger? Whoa, this one's way too big. Man, I really want to use this somehow. Coal, large, iron, medium. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. Okay, so we can have a pile of iron here. This could be very much be asphalt. And we also want to like throw in some like garbage like this on the side, because why not? Let's see. We are going to need a few of these, obviously. Actually, let's get rid of that. And this one, I think we're just gonna put one, kind of grabbing a little bit of this, and a couple, a couple just parked somewhere. Something like that. Actually, you know what? Let's just rotate it just a little bit so that it looks like, it's not all perfectly lined or anything. This thing right here, I wanna keep this truck, and I wanna have one of the diggers. Maybe kind of like somewhere around there. And just this one, just like scooping more of these. Or we also had a few of these at the entrance of our construction site, so I might as well put them in. Let's see. Actually, right here is probably okay. Let me rotate them so they're not perfectly aligned again. Fantastic. The power generator. Let's just keep this on this side, I think. In fact, you know what? We should probably have like a light of some sort right next to it. It's a temporary light. That. Let me make it nighttime. Oh, that is kind of interesting. You know what? Let's just have another one. Let's get rid of this because it looks kind of out of place. If we bring another one of those generators, we can put another one of these lights here. Actually, we don't really need to put another one of those lights there with a generator. Just the lights itself will do. Maybe another one here. Like just to barely brighten this whole area up. In fact, you know what? Let's just find a couple of red lights, because I kind of want to highlight. Whoa, this is a bit too intense. Never mind. But something like this to like highlight the entrance of our construction area. This is probably the only one that looks kind of interesting. So let's just pick this one, put it right in here. There we go. That's actually not so bad. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. All right, I'll keep it. In fact, you know what? Let's do the same over on this side because I don't think we have any of these red lights. So let's just put a few over here, just like so, and maybe rotate this and just pointing at the cones. I think it's probably good enough. And we're obviously going to have to bring one of these street lights. I think it was this one, the one I was using. Oh, this one. Just a bit white. We have the generator here, so we might as well just put it right next to it. Just a little progress update. This is what the construction area now looks like with all the traffic barrels around it. Let me just show you the previous one just so that you can compare. And obviously everything looks so much nicer except here with the rain. It kind of adds, makes everything pop a little bit more, which is kind of interesting. And I also want to take this opportunity to show you a few things that I did off camera. I pretty much carried over the design that we had on the other terminals and just added a few of these. You can probably barely see it. You know what? Let me go all the way to the other side of the airport where you can see how these taxiways kind of enter on the main terminal. And we have this cross pattern and this yellow cross pattern that really makes it just much more detailed. We also have a whole bunch of props here, same way we have on the other side. I also put a few fixed planes just parked there. So we have that A380. We also have some cones here. Oh, because I think there was a plane here that I thought it was fixed, but it wasn't. You know what? Just decided to get rid of the cones. There was a plane that actually came in as I was putting out a different one. I realized that didn't look great, so I'm just going to keep this van over here, a lonely van. And it's going to be fine because when planes land, it's going to be, there's going to be enough clearance between the wing and the car. Obviously, a car would never wait underneath the wing of a plane as it's taxiing, but it will look okay once the plane is parked pretty much in this configuration. So, man, all right. I think we're good in terms of all the details for the main terminal. I'm sure that I can keep going and add a few more. Like, for example, I want to come back to this at some point and add a few more trucks. I don't know if I'm going to do that right now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to jump into a time lapse, cue up the music. Yes, start working on landscaping this beautiful island. Now, before we continue the time lapse, I want to make a quick note. This video was actually wrapped and ready to be uploaded, but then this mod hit the Steam Workshop, and I just have to tell you about it because it's one of those mods that changes everything. The mod, it's called Don't Crash, and it's designed by Fail5. And what this mod does, well, I'm sure you're guessing from the name, it helps prevent crashing. From the description of the workshop, it literally says if the game crashes before startup or during the main menu, or if the game crashes even when you quit to main menu from a map, or if the main menu takes a long time to load, this is a mod that you need. I've been testing it on my city. Already, like from the first second, the menu just loads almost instantly. It literally takes seconds for the game to load. Navigating the content manager is just a breeze, super fast. I don't have to tether my internet off or anything. It's amazing. And it seems like a lot of people are reporting that even with thousands and thousands of assets, the maps load significantly faster and with less starting even when you're in the game. So you really need to give this a shot. It may not work. I mean, if you have not a super powerful computer and you still subscribe to thousands of assets, this may not help you. But if you do have, like 16 gigs of RAM and a good CPU, and you do have a decent number of assets, but not crazy, this most likely will change your whole experience and definitely prevents the game from crashing, which is a huge deal. In order for this mod to work, it has to be enabled and you have to quit the game and then restart it, and that's when changes will take effect. If for whatever reason you can't really run the game at all because it crashes before you can even enable the mod, there's some things that you can do. Like I said a few episodes ago, you can try to start the game in offline mode. And if that doesn't work, maybe unsubscribe to absolutely everything except this one mod, enable it, and then when you restart the game, you can resubscribe to everything else. There's discussion going on in the thread for the mod, so I highly encourage you to go check out the link in the description to the Steam Workshop. And there's also a big thread that I set up on Reddit. It's the most popular post of the day at the time of this recording. Today is Tuesday, by the way, and it's there's a lot of discussion there going on, so you might find some of your answers there as well. So I'm going to include both links in the description. All right, that's all I have to say for now. Let's just enjoy the rest of the time lapse. And here it is, the results of maybe an hour and a half time lapse in terms of real time of me terraforming this whole island. I'm really happy with the airport. I know I say that a lot, but I'm truly happy. Let me just show you how everything looks, because it's really cool. I mean, there's a lot of detail going on pretty much everywhere. The island definitely looks different than what it used to. And as you can see, I added clusters of trees pretty much everywhere. I did, however, left the runways pretty much clear. There's nothing, not even a bush here. I mean, I guess if you get really close, you see, the default grass that, whoa, big plane, that gets generated by the game. But for the most part, the runways are completely free of any obstacles. As you can see, I kept all the trees on the side, and I even, just to like break the pattern a little bit, because I didn't want to have like a completely flat surface, I just went ahead and added a few tiny little hills that pretty much show or reveal some rock textures underneath. And, that way it can break the pattern just a little bit. And even here, for example, one thing I did is I did add some bushes. As you can see, if you look at this approach, the runway kind of comes in this direction. And I just put a little bit of sand. This is like not something that you really see in airports, because it's not like jet fuel is like dripping as these planes land. But I did want to add like a bit of an effect when it comes to like, continuing the design of the runway toward, past, I guess, the perimeter of the airport. And I did a similar thing over here. There's also some like really tiny bushes. This is pretty much all that I managed to add. I really didn't want to fill the whole area with these bushes. They look great when you're close up, but when you're far away, so you can see, you only see a hint of a shadow. So I figured it wouldn't be necessary. But all in all, super happy. I think we can call this project complete, at least for now, because I know we're going to be working on this island again. But that brings me to future projects in the city. We're going to be working on the industrial area over here in the next couple episodes, maybe. One thing I've been wanting to do for a while is maybe move the nuclear power plant towards the water, because right now they're just plopped here because I didn't have a better spot to put them. I think this whole area needs a little bit of love, if you will. So I'm thinking of doing that in the next episode. As you can see here, also no trains are on this rail yard, which is what I was mentioning at the beginning of the episode, but do not mind that. We'll get to that and we will fix it, so it's all gonna look great. But unfortunately, that's all the time that I have for now. So if you enjoyed this episode, please go click the thumbs up button or the like button that's underneath this video player. Also, if you're new to the channel, as I'm sure some of you are, we've been getting, like I said, a lot of new viewers. There's a big red button underneath this video player for you to go subscribe and be notified next time one of these videos comes out. And finally, there's a link in the description to the full playlist in case you want to see all of the episodes of us building Cedar Valley. But that's all that I have to say for now. I want to thank you all for watching and hope to see you in the next one.